Okay, you're listening to the Table 12 podcast. Danny Barr, Paul Marino, Rob behind the glass. Gentlemen.
How you doing? How was your holiday?
It was good. It was fine. Quiet, at times.
Mm-hmm.
How was yours?
Good. Took my mother over to the house for Christmas Day, and Maria and Donna and the kids came. I had a good day. We got my mother out of the house, out of the facility for a little bit.
Yeah, good.
And then we went there Sunday. We went for her birthday, her 89th birthday, and we all came up. My brother came up from down the shore, so we were there again yesterday. So she had a good couple days.
That's great. Yeah.
So it worked out well. How about
89.
yourself? Yeah, 89.
Ours was a little different. Excuse me. I've worked for my company for almost 30 years. Their Jewish family owns the company, and after all these years, I've finally celebrated Christmas in the Jewish fashion. We had a Chinese food Christmas Eve and went to the movies on Christmas Day.
That was it, huh?
And we had Christmas dinner on Saturday.
Oh.
Jimmy was with his girlfriend's family both days, and Megan was with her boyfriend's family on Christmas Day. So, which is fine. I mean, it's not just about the calendar for us. It's, making sure everyone can be together.
Right. What'd you go see in the movie?
We went to see Song Sung Blue.
Oh, the new one with
Hugh Jackman
and
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
It was fantastic. Phenomenal.
But now they're a tribute band. It's not really Neil Diamond, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's a true story about a couple who had a Neil Diamond tribute band. They both met while they were impersonators. She did Patsy Cline, and he did he did various, but they were part of a group that the boss of the group was Christopher Moltisanti.
Michael Imperioli.
Oh. And so they had a whole bunch. He had a James Brown impersonator. There was a group of them, and the Hugh Jackman character idolized Neil Diamond, and she convinced him to do Neil Diamond because he would never do it because he put Neil Diamond on such a high level. He never thought he could do him justice, and she convinced him, and they put an act together. Ended up getting married, and I don't want to go too far into it because the story is not what you think it is.
But you liked the movie.
I absolutely loved it. Choked up 2-3 times. I mean, it's really an emotional movie, and the fact that it's a true story kind of adds to the emotion. But
did Neil Diamond have a cameo in it? Like, is he going to go to the?
No, he could. He's not healthy enough to do something like that. But he's in a wheelchair now.
Okay.
But and he has dementia. But life isn't fair for someone like Hugh Jackman to have all that.
That talent.
It's just the looks, the talent, the voice, and the guy he's playing is a mechanic. And at one point, obviously, he takes his shirt off because he's Wolverine. You have to take his shirt off. It's probably in his contract. I don't know a mechanic in the world that looks like that, but he's Wolverine.
Yeah.
So, but what a voice. I saw Greatest Showman. I knew he could sing, but he sounded just like Neil Diamond. I mean, it was really, and Kate Hudson belting out Patsy Cline was very impressive, doing all their own voices. And but the movie was just
I was
fantastic.
Always impressed when actors can do something like, all of a sudden start to rehearse to be a singer, to have that kind of talent to do that. And, we've seen it a lot.
Oh, sure, yeah.
A Star is Born,
Bradley Cooper.
And then the Dylan one, those guys.
And Dennis Quaid, I don't know.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
He learned how to play piano.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you're doing something, you're a pretty good actor, but then you have to take it to another level where you actually learn instruments for a role. To me, it's.
And they'll spend a year doing it. We're gonna stop for one quick second. Okay, we're back. We had a little blip there, but we are back. So we were talking about Song Sung Blue.
So you recommend it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was the first time since Maverick we've been in the movies. So what's that? 4 years. it was great to go to the movies again. Great
Yeah.
to sit in a theater, eat popcorn. The only time I ever eat popcorn is when I'm at the movies.
Yeah.
So, so it was nice. And then Saturday we had the whole family together, and Jace, it was great to have a little one in the house and opening presents. And
Good.
Yeah.
Everybody got together and had a good time.
But then of course,
Then we get to the sports.
well, Thursday night, I thought the games were decent.
I didn't watch any football on Thursday. I was too busy. And it was on Netflix.
Well, it was on Amazon.
Well, it was on Netflix. Some of them, I know that it was 2 games on Netflix on Thursday night.
Okay, so they must have
Maybe
been.
one was on Amazon. I don't know. I
Yeah.
stuck to the basketball during the day because basketball was on all day. The Knicks were down by 18 points with 10 minutes to go, and they pulled out the game, the 12 o'clock game against the Cavaliers. That was a good game.
So I was hearing that the NBA was a little pissed off at the
Yeah.
NFL,
Mm-hmm.
stealing their thunder because the NBA has always had Christmas Day.
Yes.
Football has Thanksgiving. NBA had,
Yep.
and I have to agree with that.
I agree too.
But is it because Christmas landed on a Thursday and the NFL has Thursday?
No, because there was extra games. I mean, there was
2
There
games.
was 2 games on Netflix. I think they were on Netflix. Now, I'm not sure, Dan, but if there was 1 game on Netflix and 1 game on Prime.
Well, the late game was on Prime.
Okay. So there was 1 game on Netflix. You know what they did? 65 million people watched it. That's why Netflix is
Right. It's in
worldwide.
every house.
So, I mean, that kind of a number is insane.
Right.
65 million, and it wasn't even that great a game. But yeah,
Was that the Dallas Washington? No, which game was that? Was the early game?
I'm not sure because I didn't really pay any attention to that because I was busy and the basketball was on in the background. Then you got you stream, so then you got to go Netflix. You got to come out. It's just nobody really was interested in it. So, but Saturday was also a Chargers Texans game, and the only reason I bring it up, it was a good game. The referees at the end of the game, had an impact on the outcome again. All right, it was a 3rd down play, and the Chargers stopped the Texans. It was a sack, 10-yard sack. Way down the other end of the field, they called a defensive penalty because the offensive player actually ran and got tangled up with the defensive player and tripped. No impact on the play whatsoever. There wasn't even a pass thrown. And the guy just kind of tripped over the guy. Incidental contact is what we call it. And they threw a flag, and the Chargers wound up losing. I mean, it wasn't even like a pass was thrown in a direction where you could say, okay, it was an impact on the play. It was a sack, 10 yards. It's amazing to me.
I know
how these guys do it.
We say it every year, but I have to say that this year I've seen more flags thrown than I think I've ever seen.
It's incredible.
And the amount with which they protect the quarterback, and on that, real quick, not to sidetrack from this weekend's football, but yesterday morning, I watched the 30 for 30 about the 85 Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It was a 2-hour show, and it brought back so many memories of 1985 and that Super Bowl and that team. And they're interviewing the players. Now, the documentary was made in 2016. So Mick Michael was healthy then. And they're talking to these defensive players, and they're like, no, we wouldn't be able to play today.
No. I saw Lawrence Taylor saying the same thing on another show. He goes, what do you think's better, Joe Montana or Tom Brady? He goes, Joe Montana. Joe Montana used to get hit. We used to hit him.
Yep.
He goes, he's the GOAT. He goes, I love Tom Brady. He says, but we couldn't play now.
You weren't allowed to touch Tom Brady.
He goes, I could not play now. He goes, I'd be thrown out of the game in the first quarter every game.
That's what the Bears players were saying, is that they would have all been suspended most of the season. They would have never won a Super Bowl. That team, the greatest defense, the 46 defense, Buddy Ryan's defense, considered one of, if not the greatest defense ever assembled, would not be able to play by today's rules.
No, not at all.
And they even referenced Butkus, and how all these great players that we adore and put up on a pedestal and are enshrined in the Hall of Fame could not play today in the manner with which they played.
No.
So you have someone like McMichael and Dent is the one that said, Jesus, we used to go through, this is what he said, we'd go through 2-3 quarterbacks a game. Because,
no, I mean, and if you look at all the big, defenses, they all had players like that. I mean, the fearsome foursome, Deacon Jones, and you had Carl Eller on the Vikings. You had the Steel Curtain. These guys all played. They didn't play like they play.
No,
you have to pull up every time you do something. You get a flag. No, I agree with that 100%. It's different football.
And you're not going to get Bradshaw to talk about it. I'd like for Bradshaw to talk about it.
He used to get killed too.
Oh, he was
always beat up. These guys were bloody. Well, all the quarterbacks. I remember going in the '60s, going to Yankee Stadium. Bill Kilmer and Sonny Jurgensen for the Redskins. They the first half of the game, they killed Sonny Jurgensen. Bill Kilmer had to finish the game. He comes out, he's bleeding.
I watched a roughing the passer call yesterday. I don't remember which game it was. He glanced him on the shoulder. And they threw a flag.
Well, getting back to that play, that was my point.
So
if the play was impacted, if they threw a flag on the play, the ball was thrown in the direction, sometimes things are going to happen. Okay, they threw a flag 40 yards away from the when the guy tackled the guy in the back foot. They impact the game too much, and like you said, you score a touchdown, you're always got to wait to see. You can't celebrate. You wait to see if the yellow thing comes up for a flag.
Right.
Now they didn't throw many flags in the Jet game. They didn't need to throw too many.
It was 42-3 in the third quarter. I actually dozed off.
Did you see Breece Hall's touchdown?
I did see that. That was actually half his yardage for the day.
It was 65-yard play.
Right. I think he had like 115, 118 yards for the day. So his one run was half his yardage. But I dozed off at the beginning of the fourth quarter, woke up and the game was over. And I didn't think I was asleep very long. I think that was the fastest quarter because it was cold.
Well, they were running at the end. New England was running the ball because they wanted to end the game.
Just kill the clock.
Yeah.
Right.
But they had 377 yards at halftime, the Pats.
It was ridiculous.
And made through 5 touchdown passes. They had the ball 6 possessions and scored every time.
Well, thank God we have the interception machine as a head coach because we're now at 16 games without an interception.
I don't think anybody's ever gone the whole season
without. It's never happened.
Yeah.
So they're about to make history.
So you're going to break a record.
Because they're playing Buffalo, who I don't necessarily know if they need the win, but they want the win. And they should have won yesterday.
Well, since you're on Buffalo, let's just finish up with the Jets. Yeah, it was 42-10 was the final. They had, what's his name, got over 1,000 yards. Breece Hall got his 10,000 yards for the season. And,
he's like Walter Payton. He's a great running back on a horrible team.
Yeah. But the Eagle-Buffalo game was a good game. And Buffalo went for 2 at the end.
I was disappointed in that.
I didn't know why they did that because they're still in for the number 1 seed. They should have tied the game up. They probably would have won the game.
I didn't understand it. They're 1 game behind New England.
Yeah.
Now they're 2, I think. They needed the win because of New England. New England won. They already knew New England won at that time.
But they also, even if I think they're still playing for a home game and stuff. If New England wins next week, they get I think they have to get Denver has to lose.
Denver has to lose.
Then they would get the home field.
Yeah.
But I thought you should tie the game up there. I mean, it's different if they had nothing to play for to win the game, but there's still stuff on the line. I don't understand that.
I was disappointed. I don't understand it. With these other games on when you have the package and you're watching games out of your region, they don't show the post-game interviews. And I didn't go on and look to see if they explained why they went for the 2-point conversion because they didn't need to. They could have kicked the extra point and gone into overtime. But I had no idea. But I mean, that was a good game.
And then the Giants, they had a good game yesterday. But I mean, again, they fell out of the number 1 spot for the pick.
But
for the
they
number
don't
one
need a
pick.
quarterback.
They don't need a quarterback. I'm not really upset about it. because-
Mendoza's going to go number one.
Right. And-
Raiders need a quarterback.
Yep. So that hurts the
So,
Jets.
It hurt the Jets.
But if the Jets want a quarterback, they could still trade with the Giants.
Right.
But
And the Dante, the guy on the be the number 2 pick. His first name's Dante.
Dante Moore, I think his name is.
Dante
Yeah,
Moore.
yeah. But Dart had a good game.
I think
thought
he'd be making soup.
I don't think
with a name
I don't
like
think
that.
the Giants could have really done that much to try to lose that game. First of all, players don't play to lose the game.
No,
you know,
they don't.
you got to be a little lucky to lose the way that game was set up. They're just not a good. They make the Giants look good. I mean, that's how the Giants look good.
They played the worst team in football.
Dart was 22 of out of 30. He had a lot of yards throwing the ball. He rushed for 2 touchdowns. They had 343 total yards. Dante Banks ran back a 95-yard kickoff for a touchdown. Wendell Robinson had 11 receptions for 113 yards. He's over 1,000 for the year. Darts, he passed for 207 yards. He had a decent game.
He's an exciting player.
No interceptions. He did pretty well. You know, what are you going to do? I mean,
Now you just need a coach.
you need a coach. I still think I'd like to see the general manager go too. But it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, the only way that they can still get the number 1 pick, the Giants, and the only reason why you wanted it is because the Jets would probably give him some picks to get the number 1 pick. Because the Giants would have traded with the Jets for that number 1. But the Chiefs have to lose to the Raiders next week in order for it to be back in play, and the Giants would have to lose to the Cowboys next week, which I think that's possible that they'd lose to the Cowboys. The 49ers-Bears game was a Sunday night game. It was pretty good too.
That was
They
scoring on every
They kept
possession.
trading touchdowns.
Yeah.
And-
First time it's ever happened.
And Brock Purdy, first time it's ever happened. Brock Purdy threw a pick 6 for a touchdown in the first quarter. He ran for a touchdown in the first quarter, and he threw for a touchdown in the first quarter. That's the first time that's ever happened where he threw a pick 6, scored a
Right.
touchdown. And he's a good quarterback. He was the Mr.
I like
Irrelevant, and he's a good
Yeah.
quarterback. You know? But
They Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Pittsburgh blew it.
Pittsburgh. Well, you know what?
They have to win. They still have to win this week now.
DK Metcalf may have cost him the season.
By doing that thing with the fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was doing a little reading on that. He's had altercations with that fan before when he was in Seattle. And so there's a personal thing going on here. Now, the fan denies saying the things that Metcalf said he said. He said something bad about his mother and dropped the N-bomb.
Well, here's the problem. What are you doing?
But-
Be on the bench. What are you doing all the way over there?
Walk away. What?
Well, he went out of his way to go all the way to the stands.
Right, because he had an altercation with this guy back in Seattle. And, there's something personal between those two, and it seems like the fan is a bit of an instigator.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, you're a football.
But then you got to have some self-control.
But you're not supposed to be in that area.
And think about the team,
Right.
because now he's on the bench for the next 2 games, yesterday and next week, and Pittsburgh needed these wins.
Well, next week the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game is for the.
It's it.
That's for the league
You win, you're in.
championship. Because you got to win. You win the division.
Right.
It's the division's on the line.
It's a terrible division, but
No,
the winner of that game makes the playoffs.
I think it's in Baltimore too.
And I think it is. And so that's what I'm saying. Metcalf is not playing against Baltimore. And he's, one of the top players on the team, making a semi full of money.
Yeah.
$150 million. or
Now,
something
here's
like that.
something. I mean,
And Pittsburgh they could have held back $45 million in incentives because of this incident. And they've chosen not to. They're saying there's standing behind Metcalf, and they're not going to pull the $45 million.
wow, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
The one last thing I have on the sports, it's just something that it makes no sense to me. I don't think you've heard about it, so I think I want your reaction to it. For the last, I don't know, I have to say 10, maybe 10 plus years, the National Hockey League has a thing called the Winter Classic and they play the hockey game actually outside because they want it to be. They want the winter effect, the snow.
Yeah, they've done it in Yankee Stadium.
They've done it at Citi Field. They did
Richfield.
Yeah. They've done it all over the
Fenway.
Midwest. Yeah,
they
Minnesota.
did it in Fenway.
But it's always cold.
Right.
This year they decided to have the Winter Classic in Miami. The Rangers against the Florida Panthers. Now, how is that the Winter Classic? The whole idea behind it was that they wanted to get the feel. It was like, the old days, the kids
Pond
played
hockey.
Pond hockey. Outside, it's snowing. You got the regular ice. What are they going to do in Miami? This is ridiculous.
Go to the beach.
But I mean, it's nice for the Miami fans. But if I'm thinking to myself, if I ever went to the game when the Rangers played outdoors in Yankee Stadium, I know Artie went to a couple out, and you can't. It's so cold you can't even move. And I went to all of those games. Now they decide to have one in Miami. I mean, it makes sense to move the game around, but it just takes away for the effect of the Winter Classic.
And I got a buddy I work with who went to University of Miami.
Yeah.
And he said that stadium is the most inconvenient stadium to get to. So if you're like going to hang out downtown.
Yeah, it's not like you can get to.
Right.
Now, there's two. I think they're playing in the football stadium.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because the baseball stadium doesn't make it's got a roof on it. I don't make air condition it for the Winter Classic. I don't know if.
I don't know.
So it makes no sense to me. But I don't know who thinks this stuff up. I swear to God. But they have a Winter Classic down in Miami. So who would figure?
The Pinstripe Bowl. Speaking of
That was
Yankee Stadium, was Saturday.
right.
Friends of mine who live in South Carolina, and their daughter went to Clemson.
Penn State and Clemson.
It
Right?
was Penn State and Clemson. They came up for the game. They left 70-degree weather to come up this past weekend.
Which was cold.
Cold and slushy and snow and like just miserable. And I'm just shaking my head, but they did. They went.
Yeah.
They didn't see a very good game from a Clemson standpoint, but Penn State looked pretty good.
What was the score on it?
I did not watch the entire game.
Okay.
I only clipped over to it because I'm really not interested anymore. And now it's college playoff.
Right.
So this game meant nothing.
Yeah. So this weekend the college games.
And I think Yankee Stadium is a terrible stadium to see a football game in.
It's positioned. It's exactly positioned the same way when the Giants played there, the way they position it. Because when the Giants played there,
And the seats are so far away.
well, some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Well, half the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got for today for the sports. What do you think, Dan?
They just a couple of games coming up. We mentioned the Pitt Baltimore game. The Panthers Bucks game is another one where
That's another winner take all.
winner
They win
goes
the
in.
division. Yeah, they
Yep.
win the division.
Seahawks Niners should be a good game.
Yep.
Seahawks is playing for
Yep.
home field advantage in the
Yeah, and
NFC.
San Francisco. If San Francisco wins, they get home field throughout, and the Super Bowl's in their home stadium.
That's the second time that's happened.
Yeah.
Because that happened in Tampa, right? Was it Tampa?
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah. That the Buccaneers won.
Yep. With Tom Brady.
They had a home game in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, it could happen again this year.
Wow.
It's the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara, their home stadium.
But that's all I have.
But we'll be right back with some more.